بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين جل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We continue our studies of al-Halqah Thaniyah. According to this edition, we were on page 187. And we said that if we follow the approach of Ayatollah Sa'd Rahmatullah Alayh, which is introduced here as Maslaku Haqq Ta'ah, which gives priority to Allah's right of obedience, then if you are in doubt whether something is permissible or not, you have to be precautious. But there are 4 cases that you don't need to refer to this principle. One was when there is certain decisive dalil muhriz, something that helps us to understand hukm waqi, that there is no taklif. If you have something decisive that there is no taklif, okay, you don't need to do ihtiyat. Or if you have decisive dalil muhriz that there is taklif, again you don't need then to follow this, because this is hukm zahiri, and this is when you don't have access to hukm waqi. The third was when we don't have certainty about taklif or its opposite. So no certainty about taklif, no certainty about having no taklif. But we are sure that we have tarkhis zahiri. Okay? So, for example, we have either a hadith, khabar wahid, which gives us permission, or we have asl amali, which gives us permission. Then we don't need to be precautious. So, this tarkhis is zahiri, it's not waqi, but still it's good. Another option is when there is no certainty about taklif, there is no certainty about having no taklif, but you are sure that Shari has not permitted. Again here, you don't need to use that principle. Although the result is the same, you have to be very careful, you have to be precautious. But the precautiousness here is stronger, because you know, according to available information, that Shari has not permitted not to be precautious. Okay. It seems that we have finished maybe this part, but just for the sake of maybe not missing anything, the last paragraph I read again, because one of the brothers said that maybe we didn't read this part. وَهُنَا أَيْضًا تَارَةً يَثْبُتُ عَدَمُ الْإِذْنِ مِنَ الشَّارِعِ فِي تَرْكِ التَّحَفُّظِ. Again here, like when we said in idhn can be because of amara or can be because of asl amali. Adamul izn also can be because Shari has put amara, كما إذا أخبر الثقة المظنون الصدق بالوجوب, an honest and reliable person who is very likely to be honest, who is likely not to tell any lie or not to make mistake, he informs us about wujub. If you have khabarul wahid a reliable narrator says that this is wajib, although you are not 100% sure that it is wajib, but this is enough for you to leave you no chance to think you are exempted. فقال الشارع لا ينبغي التشكيك فيما يخبر به الثقة. The legislator, the lawmaker, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that you cannot bring doubt to what a reliable person has informed you. Or, for example, they have said, صدق الثقة, confirm the reliable person. So this is tara, sometimes it's like this. وأخرى means تارة أخرى يثبت, هو means عدم الإذن بجعل الشارع لأصل عملي. Sometimes instead of amare, Shari has given us a practical principle which says you cannot be exempted. كأصالة الاحتياط الشرعية. So Shari has put أصل عملي من قبله from himself كأصالة مثل like أصالة الاحتياط الشرعية. Not أصالة الاحتياط which is عقلي, that's different. أصالة الاحتياط الشرعي means this أصالة is شرعي, is learned from شرع, and in some cases you have to do احتياط. Okay, this was continuity of previous discussion. The next issue is فائدة المنجزية والمعذرية الشرعية. What is the benefit of something religiously being activated, or something religiously is excused? What's the benefit? وبما ذكرناه ظهر أنه في الحالتين الأولى والثانية. Before I go to this part, I told you please remember those 4 situations. Just a reminder. The first was you have dalil muhraz that there is no taklif. Second was you have dalil muhraz qat'i that there is taklif. Third is that you don't have dalil muhraz qat'i, but you are sure that you have tarkhis zahiri, means you are exempted. Fourth is there is no dalil qat'i, but you are sure that Shari has not permitted you to be exempted, to be, feeling you are free. These are 4 conditions. Please remember them because he is referring to them. ظهر أنه في الحالتين الأولى والثانية. In the first and second type or stage, and that is when you have dalil muhraz qat'i for taklif or for adam taklif. In these 2 conditions, لا معنى لتدخل الشارع في إيجاد معذرية أو منجزية. There is no meaning, there is no understandable meaning that Shari' would interfere and produce mu'adhariya to give excuse, or munajjiziyya to give taklif, make taklif active. Why Shari would not interfere? Because you have yaqeen already. You have a decisive reason from Shari. لأن القطع ثابت, because certainty exists. There is certainty there. وله معذرية ومنجزية كاملة, and certainty has perfect munajjiziyya wa mu'adhdhiriyya means when someone is certain, definitely if he is certain about taklif, that taklif is active. If he is certain about adamu taklif, he is ma'zur. Yeah? If you are certain, you have yaqeen that there is no taklif, you are ma'zur. If you are certain that there is taklif, you are mukallaf to do it.
Can you tell me the meaning of mu'azzariyat?
Mu'adhdhiriyya means to give excuse, like to exempt you. Munajjiziyya means to validate or activate taklif. لأن القطع ثابت وله معذرية ومنجزية كاملة. Because certainty is there and certainty has perfect mu'adhdhiriyya wa munajjiziyya. Perfect condition of giving excuse and perfect condition of activating taklif. So if it is yaqeen that there is no taklif, it is mu'adhdhir. If there is yaqeen that there is taklif, it is munajjiz. Let's go to the third and fourth condition. وَفِي الْحَالَتَيْنِ الثَّالِثَةِ وَالرَّابِعَةِ. In the third and fourth type or stage, when there is no dalil muhraz qat'i, يمكن للشارع أن يتدخل في ذلك. Shari' can interfere and get involved. فإذا ثبت عنه, if it is established for us from Shari', it means that we know that Shari' جعل, or because it is ثبت, so you say جعله. فإذا ثبت عنه جعل الحجية للأمارة النافية للتكليف. If it is established from us that for Shari' Hujjiyah of Amara is there, and this Amara denies taklif, like you have Khabar Wahid which says there is no taklif. Or جعل أصلا مرخص means sabata anhu جعل أصلا مرخص, or it is established for us that Shari' has made a principle which gives permission. It means asl amali, which gives permission. كأصالة الحل, primordiality of being halal. ارتفعت بذلك منجزية الاحتمال. If there is such amara or such asl, the condition of munajjiziyya will be removed, because you have a proof. We know this proof is not decisive, it's not yaqini, no problem, but still is a valid evidence from Shari', because it is either amara or it is asl. ارتفعت بذلك منجزية الاحتمال أو الظن. With this, pardon? ارتفع means it is removed, it's disappearing. So if either amara for hilliya is there, amara that there is no taklif is there, or there is asla amali which says you have no responsibility, it is permissible. In both cases, this likelihood, or even if it is dhan, is more than 50%, cannot activate the taklif, cannot actualize taklif, because you have something to stop it, and that is amara or asl. Okay? فَإِذَا ثَبَتَ عَنْهُ, because as you remember, Shaykh Sa'd was saying that we do ihtiyat when we are in doubt. He was saying that Mawla requires or deserves our ihtiyat unless we are sure that we are doing well, we are doing fine, yeah? So now here, because we have something from Shari', so we can say, yes, we are doing okay. We are not in doubt. Doubt is initial. But after applying this, we are sure that Shari' doesn't want anything more. فإذا ثبت عنه جعل الحجية للأمارة النافية للتكليف أو جعل أصل مرخص كأصالة الحل ارتفعت بذلك منجزية الاحتمال. If any of these two is confirmed, because of that, the possibility of ihtimal or dhan activating taklif would be removed and stopped. لأن هذا الجعل منه means من الشارع إذن في ترك التحفظ, because the simple fact that Shari' has made this, it shows that he has given us permission not to do the taklif. وَالْمُنَجِّزِيَّةُ الْمَذْكُورَةُ, that munajjiziyah that we have been saying. We said, according to Shaykh Sadr, Mawla deserves obedience when you don't know what to do. That is when there is no additional evidence which says that you should not worry. You are all right. لأن هذا الجعل منه إذن في ترك التحفظ. The fact that he has made this amara or ask is permission from Shari' not to do ihtiyat. والمنجزية المذكورة معلقة على عدم ثبوت الإذن المذكور. That munajjiziyah which was mentioned before depends on having no such permission. وإذا ثبت عنه جعل الحجية لأمارة مثبتة للتكليف أو لأصل يحكم بالتحفظ تأكدت بذلك منجزية الاحتمال. If it is established that Shari' has made hujjiyah for amara which indicates taklif, or hujjiyah for a principle which rules that there is no possibility of hilliya or exemption, you must be precautious. In either of these cases, تأكدت بذلك منجزية الاحتمال. It would be more strengthened, more emphasized on that ihtimal activates taklif. It just helps that. Ihtimal means likelihood, probability. لأن ثبوت ذلك الجعل معناه العلم بعدم الإذن في ترك التحفظ ونفي لأصالة الحيل. Because that jal has this meaning that we know that there is no permission about being careless or not doing ihtiyat. I don't want to say careless, opposite to ihtiyat, not to do ihtiyat. Means you take your liberty, we can say. Yeah. So you don't need to be careful, you don't need to be precautious. وَنَفْيٌ لَأَصَالَةِ الْحِلْ. Or in the other case is denying that asalatul hil can be implemented. This is according to Ayatollah Sadr. But we said majority of usuliyun, instead of maslaku haqq ta'a, they have maslaku qubh al-iqab bila bayan. They say the fact that you are not informed enough, you have no, strong communication from Mawla, so Mawla is happy if you don't do it. Qubh al-iqab, because it is immoral, it's ugly to punish when there is no account, no explanation. وما تقدم كان بناء على مسلك حق الطاعة. What has been discussed previously was based on the approach of حق الطاعة, the right for obedience. أما بناء على مسلك قبح العقاب بلا بيان. But according to the other approach, which says iqab, punishment, bila bayan, without explanation, is immoral. فالأمر على العكس تماما. It's quite opposite. والبداية مختلفة, and the beginning is different. فإن أعم الأصول العملية حينئذ هو قاعدة قبح العقاب بلا بيان. Because if we follow this maslak, the most general practical principle is the rule of قبح العقاب بلا بيان. وتسمى أيضا بالبراءة العقلية. We also call it intellectual exemption. ومفادها, and its content is this: أن المكلف غير ملزم عقلا بالتحفظ تجاه أي تكليف ما لم ينكشف بالقطع واليقين. The person who is mukallaf has no need intellectually to be precautious about an obligation as long as that obligation is not disclosed to him with certainty. It's only when you are sure about taklif you have responsibility. If you are not sure, they say you have no responsibility. Okay, again, هذا الأصل لا يرفع الفقيه يده عنه إلا في بعض الحالات. The jurist would not be able to take away his hand from this, means not to accept, not to act upon this, except in some conditions. Let us mention those 4 conditions and see what happens here. وَلْنَسْتَعْرِضْ الْحَالَاتِ الْأَرْبَعِ الْمُتَقَدِّمَةِ لنرى حال الفقيه فيها بناء على مسلك قبح العقاب بلا بيان. We bring exactly the same 4 conditions to see what someone who believes in this opinion would make out of them. أما الحالة الأولى, the first condition, فيظل فيها قبح العقاب ثابتا. Immorality, ugliness of punishment remains the same. It gives you excuse. Why? Because we said he has certainty that there is no taklif. So when you are sure there is no taklif, qubhul iqab yabqa, remains. Condition number 2. فيرتفع فيها موضوع البراءة العقلية لأن عدم البيان على التكليف تبدل إلى البيان والقاطع فيتنجز التكليف. In the second condition, we said you are sure that there is taklif. When you are sure that there is taklif, so there is no chance for bara'at aqli, because bara'at aqli is when you are in doubt. Here we are not in doubt. Third condition, and that is when you have no dalil muhriza qat'i, but you are sure that Shari has permitted. There is إذن, ترخيص ظاهري بالإذن. أما الحالة الثالثة فيظل فيها قبح العقاب ثابتا غير أنه يتأكد بثبوت الإذن من الشارع في ترك التحفظ. So the rule of قبح العقاب remains and actually becomes stronger. Because This has not been explained enough. أما الحالة الرابعة فأصحاب هذا المسلك يلتزمون عمليا فيها بأن التكليف يتنجس. In the fourth condition, when we know that, if you look at page 187, Rabi' was that you have no certainty about taklif or adam taklif, but you know that Shari has not permitted to be careless or permitted to take it light. Okay? يلتزمون عمليا فيها بأن التكليف يتنجس. Taklif becomes validated or activated, although it is not known. But then, in theoretical aspect of it, they are wondering, they are perplexed. كيفية تخريج ذلك على قاعدتهم القائلة بقبح العقاب بلا بيان. But they don't know how to interpret it according to this rule of immorality of punishing without explanation. بمعنى أن الأمارة المثبتة للتكليف بعد جعل الحجية لها أو أصالة الاحتياط كيف تقوم مقام القطع الطريقي. This question is this: how an amara which confirms taklif after taklif is explained by it, and we know that it is also hujjah. You have, for example, khabar wahid. Khabar wahid is made hujjah, and it says that there is taklif. بمعنى أن الأمارة المثبتة للتكليف بعد جعل الحجية لها أو أصالة الاحتياط, which is أصل عملي. So any of two, either this or the other one. How can this stand in the position of qat'a tariqi? If you remember, in the past I talked about qat'a mawdu'i and qat'a tariqi. Qat'a tariqi is only the road, is only the connection. By itself is not important, but qat'a mawdu'i is that when qat itself becomes part of the subject, it's not just a path to the subject, it has become part of the subject.
Can you explain a bit clearer mawdu'i and
You know, sometimes I say, for example, blood is najas, but in order for this rule to apply to you, you have to have certainty, for example. Sometimes I say, al-biladul maqtu'u daman najasun. Sometimes I say, blood which is known to be blood is najas. Sometimes I say, blood is najas. And of course, I have to know that this is blood. But sometimes I put qat inside the subject. I say, blood which is known to be najas is najas. Which means that if you don't know, it's not really najas. It's not that it is najas, but it is not causing punishment or whatever. بمعنى أن الأمارة المثبتة للتكليف بعد جعل الحجية لها أو أصالة الاحتياط كيف تقوم مقام القطع الطريقي فتنجز التكليف مع أنه لا يزال مشكوكا وداخلا في نطاق قاعدة قبح العقاب بلا بيان. So the question is that amara which confirms that there is taklif, how can be standing in the position of qat as a tariq, as a path, and make the taklif valid and active, although still it is dubious. So this question, we don't answer it more than this now, inshallah, he says, in the third halqah, the third level of the book, سيأتي في الحلقة التالية بعض أوجه العلاج للمشكلة عند أصحاب هذا المسلك. In the next, inshallah, level of the book, we will mention some ways of dealing with this issue among those who believe in qubh qabila bayan, which are the majority of ulama. Shahid Saad himself doesn't believe in this. He has another approach, haqqut ta'ah. But according to them, in the third level of the book, the higher and highest level, we will talk about this. Okay, so alhamdulillah, we managed to finish this part. Inshallah, we carry on with this book after Ashura, inshallah. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.